Greetings, philosophers. Today we're exploring Jürgen Habermas's take on constitutionalism and rights, a key part of his philosophy of law from his 1992 book Between Facts and Norms. This is about how constitutions, the bedrock of our legal systems, can balance individual freedoms with the collective power of democracy. It's a topic that hits home in a world where we're constantly debating rights, from free speech to privacy, and wondering how to make democracy work for everyone. We'll unpack long Habermas's ideas. Exciting, I know. So let's jump in. By now, if you've been with us in previous episodes, you know Habermas is all about communication, how we talk, debate, and agree as a society. His big idea is that laws are only legitimate if they come from open, rational discussions where everyone gets a say. In today's episode, we're zooming in on how this applies to constitutions, those documents that set the rules for how societies govern themselves. Think of modern constitutions, with what we call a modern charter or Bill of Rights. For Habermas, a constitution isn't just a list of rules handed down from on high. It's a living framework built through democratic conversation that balances two things: your personal freedoms and your role as a citizen shaping the laws. Habermas calls this balance co-originality, a fancy term for a simple idea. Individual rights and democratic processes depend on each other. Let's break it down. Your individual rights, like freedom of speech or the right to a fair trial, are what he calls private autonomy. They protect your ability to live your life without interference. But there's also public autonomy, which is your power as a citizen to have a say in the laws that govern everyone through voting, debating, or protesting. These two go hand in hand. You can't have a real democracy if people don't have the freedom to speak up. And you can't have meaningful rights unless they're backed by a democratic process where everyone's voice counts. Imagine you're in a community trying to decide whether to limit free speech to stop hate speech. Your right to speak freely, private autonomy, lets you join the debate. But the rules that come out of that debate, like a law defining hate speech, need to reflect a democratic process where everyone's had a chance to argue their case. That's public autonomy. For Habermas, a constitution's job is to set up the rules so both kinds of autonomy work together. It's like a referee ensuring the game of democracy is fair and inclusive. What makes Habermas's approach special is that he doesn't see rights or constitutions as fixed or God-given. Unlike some traditional thinkers who say rights come from nature or universal truths, Habermas says they come from us, through the conversations we have as a society. He outlines a system of rights that includes things like personal freedoms, citizenship, legal protections, the right to vote, and even social rights like access to education or healthcare to make sure everyone can actually participate. But these rights aren't just handed to us, they're created and justified through democratic debate. That's what makes them legitimate in his eyes. This is where Habermas's proceduralism comes in. Instead of focusing on a set list of correct rights or moral truths, he's all about the process, how we talk, argue, and agree. A good constitution for him sets up the conditions for these conversations to keep happening, so we can revisit and refine our rights over time. Think about how constitutions get amended, like when women won the right to vote or when new protections for privacy emerge in the digital age. For Habermas, that ongoing process of debate is what keeps a constitution alive and legitimate, especially in diverse societies where people don't always agree on what's right. In today's world where democracy feels shaky, where we're grappling with issues like surveillance, inequality, or free speech debates, Habermas's ideas offer a way forward. His procedural constitutionalism says that a good constitution isn't a dead document. It's a framework for keeping democracy alive through conversation. It's about making sure your rights, like privacy or protest, aren't just protected, but are part of a system where you can shape the rules too. Imagine a debate over data privacy laws. In Habermas's world, that wouldn't just be tech companies and governments deciding. It would involve citizens, activists and coders debating what privacy means in a digital age, with the Constitution ensuring everyone's voice counts. As we wrap up, Habermas's vision of constitutionalism is about hope and responsibility. It's a reminder that our rights and our democracy depend on us talking to each other, not just accepting rules from on high. In a time when trust in institutions is low, his ideas push us to rebuild democracy from the ground up through open, inclusive dialogue. It's not easy, but it's a path to laws and a society we can all believe in. That's it for today. If this got you thinking, drop a comment. What's a constitutional issue, like free speech or privacy, that you think needs more public debate? And if you want to explore more big ideas, hit that subscribe button and join us next time as we plunge ever deeper into the philosophical universe.